Hi there.
What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is doing great. Let me take a count real quick of let me see who is pre pistachio. I might be missing some people. No, I shouldn't switch it over. Anyway, let me see. Let me see. Make sure I take these notes real quickly. But tonight, man, I'm your host, Ed Honcho, if you don't know. And it is an honor, it is a privilege, it is a pleasure to get to chop it with you guys each and every night on a variety of topics. But tonight I want to talk about schools. I'm not necessarily talking about the school system. I'm talking about what's going on in between the lines. I'm not talking about extracurricular sports either. Um, so, what I mean by that is there are. Okay, everybody. There are a lot of things you hear coming out each and every day. And the reason why I was thinking about this was someone posted a video. I think it was Shannon. It was probably Shannon in the damn video. Um, it's beef in the meat factory. What the fuck? It was of a teacher getting stole on by a young. I wouldn't call her a lady. She looked like Kenneth. Um, and so my deal is, she had the tight fade. My deal is there's something else going on. You hear stories of the teachers doing this with the students. We just saw the video of the teacher beating the shit out the student. The students fighting teachers. There was one not that long ago. The older gentleman who was fighting the teacher, the kid, and there's timeless stories of fraternization with these students. So I'm going to talk about these things. How do you get rid of these problems? But first, let's see what we have joining. I see INF Storms out of 335 in the building. Cultured. Just there, only one live. Miss Bell, prepaid in the building. Let's see. See Dita Gamma, Sweetberry in the building. Let's see. Kayshonda Banksy, what's the motherfucking deal? Toxic Femininity Sucks, what's the motherfucking deal? Marie Lovely, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Roscoe in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Trixie McFly, what's the motherfucking deal? Well, I hope all is wild. I hope all is wild. Hope all is well. Kenneth, yes, you, Kenneth Cologne. I'm talking about you, the chick who stole off on the teacher looks like you. Lady Tia in the building. Shout out to Lady Tia and Miss Angela. Had a very interesting call yesterday. Big Mexican in the building. What's the motherfucking deal, Big M? Shay B, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Jumping on. I don't think his athletics are that good. Female pimp is, well, they're here. So, like I said, I want to talk about it, man. I want to address it. A lot of stuff I want to talk about. Oh yeah, and prepaid, man. Tomorrow, if you have some time, I wanted to hit you from my main line. I wanted to chop it up with you about something. So if you, I'll probably send you a text or something. If you see it from an unknown number, I'll let you know it's me. If you got some time, I'd appreciate it. No, we're not three way. We're not doing no three ways tonight, man. No, 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 no. No three ways tonight. It was a fun and exciting time yesterday evening, and it was very interesting. But we go hold off on that a little bit here, a little bit there. We'll see how that whole thing plays out. But my thing is, man, my thing is this, man. Um, what is wrong? What is going on in these? Like I said, the den is a toxic environment, but it's like a toxicity of love. But in the schoolhouses, the kids hate each other. The kids hate the teachers. The parents hate the teachers. Parents hate the kids. Everybody hates everybody. And I'm not just talking about the education that you get. Like I say, it's just the environment. And so I'm wondering what can be done. Who do you blame? Who do you put this on? Is it the structure of the school's day that has these kids under anxiety? Anxiety is the new code word for everything. Are they stressed out? Is it a competition? Is it the parents that are, especially if you're coming from some of the more low income neighborhoods and things like that? Or the parents stress the kids out before they get there? Or the outside problems is what's causing these kids to rebel? The teachers, are they giving less of a fuck? I mean, what is going on in the schoolhouse that is making it so difficult for it to be a thriving environment? It seems, and I'm not saying that the kids aren't thriving. Let's be real. The majority of kids are doing fine as far as meeting the curriculum and going to school, attending school. I don't know so much about graduating. You see, people start off with a class of you know 400, and by the time it's a graduating senior class, you got about 150 in that bitch. I mean, even not that bad, but it dwindles down. I was thinking about that too. I forgot how many was in my graduating class, but I know a lot came in. And you just wonder who were those anonymous kids that just disappeared and went elsewhere, just fell off the map. I guess you don't remember because their asses never showed up to school. So, I mean, it is what it is. But my thing is, what is happening? What can be done to change this environment? And what does the future hold? Because it only seems like it's going to get worse. Especially when you have these kids who've been raised on these digital screens, their social skills are terrible. Then you're forcing them all to be in these buildings for 8 hours a day. Kamala wants to add a few hours to it. I don't think that's going to be good. Again, you see repeated stories of teachers, male and female, having their way with the children. What's wrong with these people? How do you vet these kind of people out? I mean, do you think that these people come into the school with these kinds of intentions, or does something happen and that turns them this way? Um, and again, like I say, why? What is it with the kids hating other kids? And I think that any place that you have uh, a quantity of people, you're going to have people who disagree. You're going to have interaction. You're going to have exchanges. And so you're talking about schoolhouses with, maybe a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand, and you're putting 20, 15, 20, 30, depending on what kind of school you're at, in a classroom. There's obviously going to be tensions. The more intelligent kids are going to thrive. The kids who need a little bit more help, they're going to get made fun of. The teacher's going to be stressed out having to deal with so many students, and not just in that one classroom. Some of them multiple classrooms a day, so some of them dealing with hundreds of students a day. And and I was saying I didn't want to necessarily blame it on the system, but is it the system that made it that you fall back on and say, okay, wait, maybe the system is. Uh, the dead party lot. And so my thing is like, where is the source of all this trauma, this stress, this pain, this frustration, and then it's all being cooped up in between concrete walls, and it's happening. It's getting released in the worst ways. What is it with these kids that are fighting teachers? I'm not going to act like just now this is a new thing. Kids were fighting teachers when I was in school. I'm sure since the beginning of time. I won't say the beginning of time, but I'm sure at least since the 60s, kids have probably been scrapping with teachers and each other. I mean, that's always just the thing. Kids are going to fight. It is what it is. But I'm like, it seems to be a war going on. No, not a literal war. We don't want to, that's a whole different subject. We're not going to talk about, school shootings and things, but those situations happen too. The kids get so frustrated, they lack the skills. And I think that more that, again, like I say, mentioned with the digital reliance that we have these days, the kids don't know how to deal socially, and they resort to some extreme methods. So, what do you do? What do you go from there? And I agree, Lady Tia, if you can, homeschool. If you're, depending on what it is that you're trying to, or that the kids want to accomplish. I think public school works for certain things, or maybe a private school works for certain things. And then I think, homeschool works for a different level of things. But yeah, I think it all ties into it. I believe that parenting is a point, is a part. I believe it's a major part actually, because somewhere along the lines we've transitioned, transparenting, if you will. This is what I call it. No, I don't call it that shit, but I'm start calling it that shit. But it used to be, and we've talked about this in here before. It used to be the parent and teacher were on the same side. And when you go back to that video we were watching the other day, we say, well, hey, well, you were complaining about her and how she was handling that kid. Again, there's discipline and there's abuse, and his problem started way before that incident, that call that she got. And that probably started way back at home, and then it, carried into the schoolhouse. So it used to be a point where the parents and the teachers were on the same page, and their goal was to make sure that the kid got the best education possible. Now, it seems like the parents and the students are on the same page, and we're just going to blame this teacher for their lack of ability, their lack of accountability. And it's an issue. And I agree. When I was younger, when I was around that age, I knew, some teachers and things, and they were, or some people I went to school with that became teachers, and, they're out there fucking around Facebooking with the kids and, interacting with them. And it just seemed like, I used to crack jokes. They didn't like those jokes. I used to crack some jokes about, I knew some female friends that were teachers, and I would make jokes about them having intercourse with the students, and they would get livid. But I thought the shit was fucking hilarious. But I'm like, shit, you Facebooking these motherfuckers after hours and doing all this other extracurricular shit. So it's like, to me, it's like, why? Leave the school shit at school and, the shit at home. But then a lot of these teachers also have an issue, the ones who actually care. And you wonder how many still care, or how many are just there for a paycheck. Because the ones who still care, they carry these problems home with them, They're actually concerned with what is happening to the kids, and they know that to a certain extent they're powerless, and they want to do as much as they can, but yet their resources are limited. Isn't that odd, too, that you see so many of these things when the beginning of the school year starts, where these teachers are basically having to beg for supplies. They're in need of supplies for the school. So again, obviously I know that, they used to have the list. Here's your supplies for your kid. Make sure you have these things. But now it's like they have so much shit they need for the classroom as a whole. And it's just like so much stuff that's going on. And it just makes me wonder. And I wonder. But it's No Child Left Behind. That's a thing. You leave their asses behind until they fucking learn. I remember it was in high school. There was a dude. This nigga was like 21. This nigga was still playing football. Them football team coaches don't be giving a damn. They gonna find a way. They gonna make sure they'll go get your goddamn birth certificate. Nowadays they let you alter your sex on your birth certificate. They going and altering ages and shit back in the gap. Yeah, this young man, he is 17, and he was like 23 with 2 kids and shit. Senior dating freshman. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? This is illegal. That's what I'm telling you. Like, oh man. Anyway, but like I said, there's a problem. There's a problem with what's going on, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. Schools are focusing on these standardized tests. We've learned that standardized tests are apparently racist. So I guess low-income schools or lower-end schools or schools in black neighborhoods. I guess I need to take a standardized test. I can't talk tonight. But schools in black neighborhoods, maybe they're not doing as well on these standardized tests. They're struggling, so they're stressed out or whatever's going on. It's a lot of stuff that's happening. But I'm just wondering, where is the cure? Where is the relief? Where is the solution? And let's see. Hello, Heidi. Let me see. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? Mike Rock, what's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, so ND Love, what's the motherfucking? I don't know if I shouted you out earlier. But here's my thing, man. I ain't shouting out Shannon. Shannon's a troublemaker. I don't know why she finds it necessary to just start shit, but she does. But So I have questions, and maybe we can come up with some answers. Maybe we can come up with some thoughts. Your personal thoughts, maybe experiences that you've seen while you were in school, or maybe having to do in the field of education, or anything of the like. Jason S, what's the motherfucking deal? Um, you're the top G in Sesame Street. So my thing is this, Ladon, what's the motherfucking deal? Excuse me. Glad that you could join us. And so, like I say, just maybe, maybe we can come up with a solution. Maybe we can't. If people who have been paid a lot of the big bucks to focus solely on this haven't come up with a solution, then who knows? And it's your boy Roman. Roman, it's past your bedtime. Uh, Outside of that, I'm trying to think. There was something else that was happening that I wanted to speak on. I talked about the Kaepernick thing a little bit in the sauce. There was something else that I wanted to speak on before we open up the line. Um, but yeah, for those asking about the the Den debate three-way thing, yeah, we're going to hold off on that for a little bit. We'll until further notice. But it was interesting. It was extremely interesting to see some of the Den folk actually get off the chat and interact with one another personally. A lot of stuff was covered yesterday. If you missed it, I suggest you get some time on your hands, go back and watch it. Really. So you say the lack of God, toxic family sucks. Do you think that religion needs to be put back in the school? You think that will change anything? But I mean, you have so many people now who are godless. So even if they did, and I know there was something they were talking about, I forgot who, just maybe in Louisiana or one of these places, they just signed a thing to put the prayer back in school. Um, so again, it's the kids nowadays aren't going to give a shit about it. They oppress you. They call you an oppressor. Yeah, but they don't care about you, Kenneth Cologne from Honduras. So you say not in school but at home. Okay. Interesting. All right. Let me dish out some of these pistachios. Let me get the phone line booted up, and we will taking some calls here shortly. And oh yeah, I guess I should do that. That makes sense. Let me 1 second. I'm gonna finish with a start here. But yeah, so other than that, man, I hope you're all doing well. I hope life is treating you as good as it can get. I know certain people. I know you have to deal with life. I know some folks are going through things. And again, I wish well for you all. And I would say, I'm gonna say thank you to the Den while we're doing this, while I'm doing this little nonsense, because the Den has helped me grow a lot as an individual. I think as the Den grows, I've grown in many ways, in my manner of thinking, my manner of understanding, and even in my methods of interacting. So again, while I'm doing this, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Be greatly appreciated. And I will open this up here. I hate the fact, because it seems like I'm getting two different chats again, like last night. So it is what it is. Let me open this up, get this in, get this on, and I'll put the number up for y'all here in just a second. Do this part. Process. It's a bunch of clicking. And then come on, don't take that damn long. All right, cool. Put the number up. Den line. Let's get it in the Den this evening. Miss Misty joined us this evening. All right, welcome back. Shot-Town. Okay. Glad you enjoyed. Shout out to Misty. Misty came in the Den. She's been kicking it pretty tough. I'm glad that you have been rocking with us. So I'm glad Broderick didn't his attack didn't try to run you off. Where is Broderick? Look, he had his time yesterday. Broderick, I was hoping to get Broderick on the call. It would have been very, very interesting yesterday. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Well, I guess I ended up first on the list today. So, no fault of my own. I just actually called, figured I'd be third or fourth. It's all good. Don't have actually much to say on this tonight because my kids are all grown. But I will say, over the last few years of their schooling, it just kind of seemed to get ridiculous. There was a lack of respect for both students and a lack of respect for teachers. And when there's not a general respect across the line, it's hard to be in any kind of learning environment.
Yeah.
But it also comes from what's going on at home, too, with the parents. If the parents aren't working together with the teachers and it becoming a community group, not, hey, I'm dropping my kid off and you teach them and then you send them back home, like single parents, rather than acting like a community, it does make a huge difference.
I can agree with that.
And,
like I said, it takes a village to raise a child, but it doesn't seem like that as much anymore.
It takes a village to raise a bunch of idiots, but yeah, it does. And my kids, I mean, I can give a few shout-outs to the teachers, and especially the teachers that did sports with the kids. They seem to really care more or take that one step further, or the ones that did, like, extracurricular activities. I got nothing for that woman that pounded on that little kid. That was beyond bullshit. I hope to hell she gets some jail time for that. Big time.
They definitely will.
But yeah, I think it's an across-the-board thing. In fact, we've all been talking about it. I definitely think they should have more vocational schools because, like we've all said, not everybody's cut out to go to college.
Correct.
So that's just sort of what I got tonight. And Kenneth, I'm glad you did your homework.
Man, fuck Kenneth. Nah, Kenneth all right. Kenneth just... Kenneth, I've noticed that since the football season is over, Kenneth has been back in the mix a little bit. And I hope he's not letting that distract him and focus from his schoolwork because I'm expecting all A's from Kenneth. The last report card I saw was not that good. So shame on you, Kenneth. But hopefully he's stepping it up a notch.
Well, hopefully, like I said, hopefully with a little bit of time, he'll have it to be able to do. But, you know, that's the thing. We all kind of check on him just to kind of, you know, help out where we can. Don't really have too much else. I'm sort of, yeah.
All right.
It's one of those nights. Last night was just like, I was proud of myself. I hung in there pretty good with Shannon.
Well, yeah,
you know, I gotta say this though, is it definitely gave me one to ponder after about the fact of my talking about it in black and white terms or always bringing race into it. And one of the things that, as the majority of this particular group is African American and I am the minority, I have to be careful what I say and do so I don't walk over a line either. And that's something that, because African Americans or blacks are the majority in this particular group, it's not something they have to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, never went that way, did you?
So it's the same on all you bullies out there.
No, I would say they're being normal and human, but the thing is it's just something to think about. As being a few minority white person in this group, which I have no problem with, if I did, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
But the fact is that, yeah, because I am a guest within the culture, I still have to watch my P's and Q's and not offend anybody.
That's true.
So sometimes it comes down to, culturally, blacks do different things than whites do, or they do them different than, you know, Asians do, or they do them different than Hispanics do. So sometimes you have to compartmentalize and sometimes because I've only ever experienced it as being in a white group of people, so I wouldn't know how to define it in more diverse actions. And I know I just went rambling on with that, but that really was kind of the point of it, is that I'm a guest in this culture, and I still have to watch my P's and Q's, too.
Yeah. Or you could say fuck it and fuck everybody and just go wild.
I can do that without any problem. I just, and like I said, whether I get a pass or not, it doesn't mean I ever should be using it. It's a compliment that I get it. It doesn't mean that it gives it an open door to abuse it. And so that being said, I'm just going to let everybody else make their calls. And last night was definitely fun. So why are you kind of backing off of it? Was it just too much trying to get everybody on the same page, or is it just still need some practice? Or you?
No, it's not that I'm backing off. It's just that I don't want to do it too often, because I think it could wear out its welcome. I think that it's good to have a little time in between. Then that way we'll have a variety of topics, discussions. That some people will find things that they disagree on. And then by the next time, it comes around and we have, the little dim debates, and they can kind of bring that up and say, well, on this topic in particular, yada, yada, yada. And it'll give them something to debate. If we just do it too much, like I said, it seems like it becomes watered down.
So, well, and also works the other way, too, is just by holding it off, then it becomes a big fight night, and then it's something to look forward to.
I like fight night.
Yeah, I watched MMA, so I definitely get what a good fight night's about. Anyway, that being said, do you have any other questions for me?
No, man, that's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right, calling it a night and see who's next.
All right. Well, Ms. Bell, I appreciate you calling in, getting the party started. The bell has rung, and class is in session, even though we're talking about school, so that I guess that suits it. All right.
Good night.
Good night. Look, Shannon, it was you. Take responsibility for your actions, Shannon. You're always trying to pass the buck on to somebody else. You're always trying to blame somebody else, Shannon, when it was definitely you. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's Misty.
Hey, Miss Misty. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing okay. A little, don't know how to feel. My son just made it to Chicago, and he joined the Navy, and so he just made his little 10-second call and said, I'm at boot camp, and, talk to you in 100 weeks, it feels like, Yeah, me and my husband, I tell you, I think I had told you he's our only son, and, it's different, but yeah, you were talking about school stuff, and, one of the things that I was gonna, and the Navy was not my idea. That Trey went and signed up for that himself, and I really didn't want him to. Not that I don't support the country or whatever, but I just didn't. You worry about your kids or whatever, and you don't want something to happen. I don't know, mom mentality, I guess. The thing. Or my mentality, whatever. But, you were talking about school stuff. Well, I can give you an example of something that concerns me. I think it's a matter of a lot of teachers and principals and coaches and all of that going into the profession for the right reasons. Because I know that my son went to the biggest, we live in Alabama, and he went to the biggest school there is in our county. And it was a mixed school, but, like I was telling you, because my son's mixed, and I wanted it to be, diverse, for him. And, oh, man, if you just knew our whole history, I mean, he has the greatest dad in the world. I mean, we came from nothing. I mean, basically, we built our own stuff, all these little letters that Trey left for my husband and me is really funny because he was saying, Dad, I watched you. I mean, my husband could do stuff like take an engine out of a car, rebuild it, put it back together. The build a building. I mean, like, he's like this entrepreneur, like, self-motivated, can do any kind of work around the house, you know, don't have to pay nobody to do nothing, you know, fix things and all that stuff. And then I'm a nurse, and when we got married, I was in nursing school. I mean, we started from the bottom, and we still ain't at the top. You know what I mean? We're just middle class, but we really started at the bottom and worked our way and raised our son to, you know, do the right thing. But anyway, I remember one time Trey was a junior, and he just graduated in 2018, and so he was a junior, and he got real upset because somebody had said something in one of those classes or whatever, and he walked out of class because, you know, I mean, that's not the kind of kid that he was, so he wasn't like that. And the principal was acting real, you know, real stupid. This was a black principal, and he wanted the job of the guy that's over the whole thing, is what it really boils down to, because he kept moving up, you know, and it just. I don't know really how to put it into words that I can let you know that I know that, but he was just, he would lick that guy's ass, in other words, you know. And so I got real rude with the guy because Trey said, well, you can just get my papers ready and I'll just withdraw from this school or whatever. And I'm like, I think people jump too soon if they're not in these jobs and roles for the right reason, because my son never got in trouble or really did anything. So that was very out of his character to walk out of class or to do anything like that. So instead of sitting down and saying what's wrong, you know, or whatever, you know, he came at Trey with that real, the mentality of like, kind of like just, what am I trying to say? Like an attitude, you know, like an attitude, not like, hey, you know, Trey, I know this is not something that you normally do. Can you tell me what's going on? You know what I mean? Like they should recognize, like, get to know the kids and understand, you know, because I told you I worked with kids, and sometimes, you know, and so when he said to Trey, well, that's fine, you know what, I'll get your stuff ready, and tomorrow you can have your paperwork and you can leave school, you know, just like, you know, like they don't care. And then Trey was like, well, whatever, fuck that shit, you know, whatever, you know, yeah, that's cool. But you know what? After talking to Trey and after me, like, you know, yelling at the principal and almost getting, like, told that they were going to call the police on me or whatever, basically, it all boiled down to, had he had just taken time and stopped and, like, you know, just actually talked to my son, you know, and once it came down to, we actually all sat down and just kind of talked about the problem or whatever that had happened, you know, Trey explained to him what was going on, and, you know, I mean, it worked itself out. I mean, I think the people are too quick to have a really bad attitude instead of investigating a little bit more into what's going on with the actual kid, you know, because sometimes there are reasons why these kids act like they act, you know, and sometimes no, they just do what they do, and, you know, they may have wrong, but a lot of times whatever's going on, typically there's a reason why, you know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if they're not in the schools for the right reason, they need to find another profession, because see, that's the biggest thing, and that don't even have anything to do with any kind of color, because white, black, green, purple, orange, yellow, whatever, these kids that are in the school that he was in basically just I mean, all kinds of colors and stuff, you know, so that, I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to say, my biggest thing is about the punishment and the different things like that. Sometimes they have to have all that stuff, yeah, but if they just are in the school for the right reason, and sometimes can get to the root of the kid's problem, because anytime you come at a kid, especially an adolescent, when you come at them with that harsh attitude, they're just going to back it up with a harsh attitude right back at you. So sometimes if you approach them and try to figure out, like, what the problem is. Now, if you can't figure it out, well, yeah, you may have to go with some more, whatever, but maybe trying to sit down and have a talk, first of all, it will solve a lot of things that are going on with these kids, because I know so many of them that, even when I worked in the school as a nurse, there'll be a lot of them that would come and sit and talk, and they would talk about their problem or whatever it might be, and it would be something pretty simple. And like I even had a little African American girl that she's still a little black girl. She still calls me all the time now. I have all kinds of people in my family, but I'm saying she calls me all the time now, and I mean, she admitted to me that she had been abused, and that things were going on. A cousin of hers was actually taking advantage of her, and she was resorting to liking females because she was completely against men, because she just, some things had been happening in her family. Let's just put it that way. But it ended up that we had to call the DHS system because, as a nurse, you have to do that. And no, she didn't get taken away from her family. That guy got banned, and he got, her cousin, it was a first cousin. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the parents, where were they at, but I mean, there's just so many different things I could tell you about, these teenagers and stuff like that. I feel like that the little kids are okay too, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you need to learn all about them too, but these teenagers, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, like, you could start from the bottom and work. You could have a 10-hour discussion on different ways to help them, because they need it. I mean, they need people to stop and listen to them. And the more that you push, the more that they're going to push back. And not always is that the answer, to sit down and have a discussion. Yeah, sometimes you got to get, more and more and more with a punishment or whatever, or they need all that. But, sometimes, sometimes you've got to, sit and listen to this stuff, if that makes any sense. I just wanted to add that,
Okay. Now, I got a question for you, Miss Misty. Actually, I have two questions. The first question is, what kind of dog do you have?
What kind of what now? Say that again.
What kind of dog do you have?
I'm sorry, I can't. For some reason, I can't.
I was asking. Is this thing on? I was asking, what kind of dog do you own?
What kind of what do I own?
Dog. D-O-G. K9.
Oh, you can hear my puppy dog?
Yeah, I mean, I heard a brief glimpse of small puppy bark, so I was just curious.
Oh, well, I mean, we have there's three of them here. One is a God, what do you call that thing? A Rottweiler. Mm-hmm. Another one is a little, and then I have a Rottweiler. That's then we have he's a Shih Tzu and Maltese mix. Real cute little white fuzzy guy named Marley who thinks he's got a big attitude, and then the Rottweiler, he thinks he's just a tiny little guy. And then his little best friend is a little Chihuahua that lives right next to us. So, I mean, I don't know what what was that question for exactly?
No reason. I ask random stuff all the time. just real random.
Yeah, because but the thing about it is, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, even with these puppy dogs, I call them puppy dogs, sorry, but they're dogs, or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes I call them puppy people, and the reason why I do that is because they actually have personalities, and they actually all are different. And I've seen pit bulls that are mean, and they seem like they're mean and they're all of that, whatever. And then I've seen pit bulls that are just so sweet, and they're just they're sweeter than this little spoiled little Maltese Shih Tzu doggy that I've got. That's, I mean, and so it's just I don't judge about I got random puppy dogs too, the Rottweiler, he's he thinks he's like only 2 feet tall, and he wants to run from the Chihuahua that lives next door. So I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's
just Sarah donated $2
it's not
through
even about
Super
the
Chat.
type of them. It's
Honcho
like,
is sorry. He asked
do you mesh
face
with their
with tears of joy,
personality?
face with tears
you know
of
what I
joy,
mean?
face
'Cause I
with
can see a
tears of
pit
joy,
bull,
face with
and I
tears
could
of joy, face with
just look
tears
in
of
his
joy,
eyes or
face with
whatever,
tears
or
of joy, face with tears of joy, face with
the guy on
tears of joy,
YouTube.
face with tears of joy, face
And
with tears of joy, face with tears of joy,
this is
face with
show
tears of
thingy.
joy.
Okay. My husband's supposed to have me for off talking like see his face, he can't sleep. But yeah, I know. And so, but yeah, I mean, like all kinds of different. Am I making sense?
No, I get you. Yes.
Not.
I have one more question for you, real quick. Are you a fan of the Alabama?
Yeah, Alabama.
Okay. How did you feel about that LSU game?
Say that again.
Said how did you feel about the LSU game?
The race issue? Is that what you asked me?
No, hold on. Maybe my mic will sound crazy. I don't know if I adjust the settings or anything. I said, how did you feel about the LSU game, the Alabama versus LSU game?
Oh my God, it's fine because LSU needed to win sometime, and if they didn't, I just feel like this. I'm a diehard Alabama fan. I love the red and white because I think orange and blue is ugly. But I hope none of the Auburn fans in here are having a fit, if there is. But I mean, because us women want to dress with the colors, because we don't know enough about football. But I mean, don't you think? I mean, as a person that LSU is eventually going to win. I mean, they're going to have different teams at different times. I mean, they may have good people playing this time. They may have bad people playing that time. So, I mean, it's going to change from time to time. It's just, I mean, they need to win a time or two here and there, and Alabama needs to win a time or two here and there. And I mean, it's just. You just got to be, it's just take it however it goes. I mean, if you lose, you lose, you move on, and you got next year, There's no sense in being like some of the Alabama players, so anyway.
All right, Miss Misty. Well, Miss Misty, I appreciate your call and you sharing your thoughts on the school and the dogs and Alabama. So hopefully we'll hear from you soon.
Okay, all right. Take care.
All right, have a good evening.
Like some Alabama players.
What's the motherfucking
so anyway.
What's the mototherfucking deal? We have calling in to the den this evening.
Man, it's your boy Roman.
Roman, how are you doing, Roman?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I feel like I'm back. Shit, I haven't been on the den in forever.
Okay, so Roman, for those who might not have caught you in the sauce, man. Tell them about the good news, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you good news. Well, I said a little bit in the sauce, but basically at my school, what we was doing is, so it's like a representative, kind of like House of Representatives and shit. Everybody gets voted in as a representative of their class, right? So, and then they wind that down to eventually who's the representative. It's a round. It's like a competition, right? Mm-hmm. And wind everything down because they're trying to get, places of office. So they need, of course, a president, a vice president, all those things. So it got down to election. Our job was basically the campaign, really. We had to motherfucking dress up. We had to freaking do the signs. We had just like everything, make speeches. Hell, we even had like 2 debates. So it came down to me and this other girl. She was corny. And your boy had it, man. I won the presidency.
Okay.
With a vote was 136 to 100 and what was it? 20. It was 24. It was close. But I pulled it out, so I was happy.
Okay.
So, hey, look, your boys has been busy, man. They have me I'm still doing school, of course, but then they having me doing all the work and seeing how I can fix the school or what things I can implement. You get what I mean?
So basically,
So,
they duped you.
they
No,
what me?
I said they duped you. They fooled you.
No.
Thought you was gonna. They thought that you thought you was getting voted to be king. They just gave your ass extra work. Nah, but that's what's up. That's what's happening, man.
No, man, it takes you doing that. I mean, you gotta have good grades, and before guys report cards all A's, so I'm feeling good.
Okay.
And so that's what I've been doing, man. But I'm gonna be back in the den. So let me hurry begin to this topic before they hit me with a 15-minute rule. Because the den is ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
So we talking about schools, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Honcho. HISD as a whole is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
They are the 7th biggest school district in the United States.
Okay.
So if you would think about it like that, you would think of being the 7th biggest, or just at least in the top 10, right? You have some form of function of organization of understanding of your workers, of your students, of something, right?
Mm-hmm.
HISD has nothing. The thing is, when you look at it, HISD has so many budget cuts. I mean, Jesus. One of the biggest budget cuts goes back with them having cut the art program.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think a lot of people think of art programs, they think of art, of course drawing and all that. But when you cut an art program, you also cutting reading, you're cutting libraries, you're cutting even like say paper and pencils, you're cutting all that. That's another cut of art too. So check out my son Sterling. Honcho, we don't have a library. We don't have a library. And you know what? I think the district does that. I'll say this, Honcho. I think they do that because they don't want you to learn. I feel like a special school like Sterling, which predominantly Hispanic and Black, they're setting you up to fail. Because they're setting you up to fail because even the thinking of of not having a library. Name a school that didn't have a library.
I couldn't call it a school if it didn't have a library.
Everything great, Honcho, is in a book. Everything you need to know is in the book. And by taking that knowledge and taking that resource away from kids, you already lowering them to a standard they don't need to be at. You already send them up to failure. You already send them up to be a statistic. I mean, you just that's just a tiny blueprint. I feel like by just not having a library. Because just those little amount of kids going to go read the book, man, they can learn some knowledge. They can know things. I mean, damn, when you go in these classes and when they talk about what's the understanding of this word? Who did this in history? I mean, kids don't have prior knowledge of things. I mean, I know you learn stuff in school, but also the prior knowledge of what I also know. That's what a lot of things the book, especially the library, gave you. Everybody know your teacher would bring y'all up to the library, and you would have a good 20, 30 minutes to go find yourself a book and read. You don't even do that no more. You can call it childish, but you don't know how much of an impact that can make for kids. Kids that don't get that same love, or don't get that same education, don't get that same mind of thinking when they get home. You get what I mean?
So, so now that you're elected president, what are your do you have ideas to improve on some of these situations?
Well, this is one thing I did. Colors mean a lot, and when I try, I can't do a library idea, Honcho, because I'm not HISD, I'm not a superintendent. That's where, of course, my rules cut. Of course, but it's one idea I brought up. It's an interesting idea. It's about colors. With my son Sterling, it's a lot of dark blues. There's a lot of dark grays. There's a lot of colors that are dull. And let me say, colors have so much meaning in them. When you go to somewhere with brighter colors, you give it. I mean, most of the time that place is a brighter place. You feel more happy. You feel more. You feel like you want to be there. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea I thought I proposed was, why don't we figure out the best artists at the school, right? And we let them draw art around the school. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to even inspire, to, allow people to show their creative ability. Hell, I said, man, let's have a talent show. Yeah, you can call it kiddish, but damn, you don't know how much they can impact people. They can finally show their talent. They don't have to be scared. They can finally do something they feel like they've been wanting to do. I don't want school to always be about work. I mean, people have the wrong perception of school. It's just work, it's boring. It's like I'm here like a job, like I'm a damn slave doing this shit. It's also about, damn, let's show some personality. Let's let people be themselves. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can figure out who they want to be. And that was one proposal I was thinking about. You get what I mean? Just allow that. And even, like I said, I couldn't do nothing about, of course, having a library, but I did bring up the idea of, damn, in every class, especially English and Arabic classes, man, let's take 20, 30 minutes just to read. That's every class, or that's every once a day. Or, we can do that every Thursday. We can do that every this day. You get what I mean? Just to read. Go find your book. Find a way to get books in the classroom so these kids can read this, so they can understand more, so they can might be interested in something they want to do. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I really feel like it makes. I feel like you're not setting up nobody to do great when you don't. When you're not giving them the resources they need.
So one last question for you, Mr. Roman. I mean, if you have anything else you want to add, that's fine. But I have a question. So, which one of your hoes you elevating the first lady, man?
Man, that's classified. Man.
Okay, classified, redacted information. I feel you. Do you have any fear of being impeached?
What'd you say?
So, do you have any fear of being impeached as school president?
No, I'm not making phone calls for other schools, so I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I think I should be all right. I'm not running secrets. I'm not still running my business as I'm in office. So I think I'll be okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else that's on your mind there, Roman?
No, I mean, like I say. Last thing before I get off, man, it's just, schools gotta do a better job of just making themselves feel like, damn, I want to be here. Like I said, you don't feel like it's work. Don't feel like, man, I'm just here just to be here. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
For teachers, I know so many teachers. I know so many administrators and APs, assistant principals and counselors who don't care. Who, I'm here because I get a paycheck. I'm here because, I gotta be here. We don't need teachers like that. We don't need staff like that. We need people in here that care, who's ready to do this job because they want to do this job, because they want to see these kids succeed. They want to see these kids do something in life, especially being a primary minority school, see especially black and brown kids do something, and don't make it seem like for them to be another statistic. So when HID can realize that and can crack down on these teachers who really don't give a damn, or just, pass people because they don't care, and I think that's a change right there. But that's nothing I can do, so that's all I can pray about. But that's my call, man.
All right, well, appreciate it, Roman. Good to hear from you, man.
And man, in the words of Penny, man, Daddy's home.
All right, man.
But that's my call, man.
All right, Roman. Appreciate it, man.
Anytime.
Shout out to Roman, man. I wish Kenneth was half the student that Roman was. Roman's going places. Kenneth is going to the corner, and it's quite sad. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's good, Honcho? This prepaid.
Prepaid, man. What's on your mind, prepaid?
Oh, ain't shit, man. What time you want to chop it tomorrow?
Whatever's convenient for you, man. Like I say, my schedule is free, so whatever's the best time for you. I may need maybe about 15 minutes of your time.
Well, I'm always on time, so you let me know what time you're free.
Okay. Okay.
You just let me. You text me, know something you want, what time you need me, and I got you. For some reason tomorrow, I think I might be getting sick for work.
Okay. I understand it. It happens.
Kind of under weather. Oh, the flu and the weather change. I ain't gonna be able to make it. Man, shout out to Roman. Shout out to Kenneth. You young punks in the den, smell like fruit roll-ups. And I caught your little Trump jab over there, Roman. You think you slick? While you worry about getting impeached, you need to worry about getting assassinated. You go to Sterling, bitch. You need to watch yourself. Watch yourself. And if Roman and Kenneth, y'all out here getting your little Jimmy wet, and I do mean little Jimmy wet, you better be wearing rubbers. Because can't none of y'all afford them kids. Honcho, man, 3 things that ruined the school systems. The number 1 thing is they took away corporal punishment. The number 2 thing is you let them fucking hippies run the school system. And the 3rd thing, we stopped letting our teachers be realistic. So let's go to number 1, corporal punishment. A lot of y'all not from the South, so I get it when I say this. Y'all gonna swear up and down talking about abuse, and I'm not. I'm talking about the Board of Education. When me and Honcho was going to school, when your parents dropped you off at school, it was an extension of your home. That's how school was viewed. So if you got your ass beat at home, you can get your ass beat at school. If you was acting the ass at home, you got your ass beat at home. You came to school acting the ass, you got your ass beat there. If you went to PE, you get your ass beaten there. If you played a sport, you get your ass beaten there. That's what kids have to have. Children are supposed to have a healthy fear of their parents, their superiors, their elders. Your kids now don't fear a motherfucking thing. These kids walking around school smoking the jewels. Smoking at school? Come on, man. They don't give a fuck. That's 10 cigarettes and what is that, 20 cigarettes in one per puff? Come on, man. This is what nigga full of nicotine. They're not scared of nothing. They don't fear nothing. Because the fact of the matter is, what we do now as parents, well, not me, but majority of parents are doing this now, they drop their kids off. They feel like the teachers are supposed to be the people who's supposed to teach them every goddamn thing about life. They're supposed to be the superior. They're supposed to be the person teach them everything they know, but then they can't discipline them. But that completely goes against everything when it comes to teaching. When I used to do my math homework at the table, my mama would ask me a question, what's 7 times 5, and I get it wrong, she'd pop me on my hand. No. Teacher can't even pop a student on the hand no more. These kids are at school. How long are they at school for? What is that? 8 to 10 hours a day? Well, that's your parents now. Your teachers, your parents for them 10 hours. But we don't want it to be that way because we're too busy going down to school saying my son or my daughter wouldn't do that. Yes, the fuck they would. Parents, in a den, let's be real about something. If you were a bad kid, your kids are going to be bad. Let's just go ahead and say it. If you were sneaky as fuck, they sneaky as fuck. If you was just a diabolical little fucker, they the same ways. And it's okay to say that. Stop going down to them schools and telling white people, my son would never do that. Yes, the fuck he would. He did set his notebook on fire. You set a whole goddamn backyard on fire. Yes, you did. He did the same shit. Now, let's get to number 2 with this hippie type mentality with shit. School is free. It's mandatory and everybody graduates. Why we gotta create all these weird ass curriculums for everybody? Stop that shit. They got reading, writing, and arithmetic, as my grandma used to call it. Dog, follow the goddamn structure. Stop trying to create all these cool ass systems. They got the teachers at school doing the Young Jeezy version of motherfucking times table. No, bro, no. This shit ain't supposed to be fun. This shit ain't supposed to rhyme and shit, man. Let that nigga do it the right way. You took God out of school, took Jesus out of school. The kids can't pray no more. Dog, these kids need prayer. They need structure. I was told, and I don't know if this is true or not, I was told the kids don't even say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore.
Word?
Dog, a lot of schools, and especially in Minnesota, they took the Pledge of Allegiance out. Well, damn, we ain't pledging to the flag no more, bitch. When did this happen? Everybody does know. I mean, I ain't to the Pledge of Allegiance, probably, ain't no tell how many years. I ain't going to tell y'all when I graduated. That was a long time ago. Yeah. But I still remember the fucking Pledge of Allegiance. That stuff is supposed to be embedded in you. That's a part of being an American citizen. Or if you hear shit, you enjoying education, you're supposed to know the Pledge of Allegiance. That's a part of your routine. Yeah. That way, that's how you know school starts every day. They get on the intercom, everybody stand to the Pledge of Allegiance, sit your ass down. That's a part of it. Once you get a real job, you wake up every day, you have a cup of coffee or whatever you drink in the morning. Or maybe you might want to put a little bit of Crown inside your coffee. Not talking about me. I have tasted it. It ain't bad. Nonetheless, what I'm saying is this right here, bro. We have got to get away from this shit. Kids need structure. Yeah. Structure develops discipline. But every time we decide to put a structure in, y'all want to tell us how this don't work for your kid. It's fucking school, man. It's high school. It works for everybody. That's why everybody got a goddamn diploma with their name on it. And number 3, can we start being realistic in school? Stop telling your kid he can be anything he want to be. No, the fuck he can't. He can't be anything he want to be because your son don't do none of his work. His options are very limited. Let's be realistic. Let the teachers call these niggas dummies how they supposed to. When we was in school, Honcho, teacher told, man, you a dummy. You are something dumb. Teacher will look in your eyes and tell you, if you don't do your work, you ain't going to amount to nothing. Exactly. A teacher tell a kid that now, they getting fired.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the previous callers mentioned how these teachers are doing it for a job. Guess what, y'all? If you hate your job, they going to hate their job, too. It's like any other job. They got good days on the job. It's a lot of fucked up days on the job. Yeah. Some days you feel like you're getting through these motherfuckers. Some days you realize that they ain't going to never learn their timetables. It is what it is. But let's aid the teacher. Let's help these people out. I don't know who mentioned the school. You mentioned the school supply list. Honcho, Lord have mercy. That school supply list compared to what I went to school with, I don't even know how the fuck I made it. Yeah. My school supply list had 10 items on it. My kid's school supply list got 45 fucking items on it.
Man. And it seemed like some new shit coming out every other couple of weeks. Well, we need this now. We need that now. And a couple of more fundraising, some extra shit.
Well, see, and what you, if you really look at the list and you really start to like see what's going on with the list, you pretty much see what's going on. Mm-hmm. Don't nobody need 6 fucking boxes of Kleenex. It's so many fucked up kids in school. They know that certain kids ain't gonna come to school with no Kleenex. Mm-hmm. Parents, let's open up our eyes and realize what's going on. Don't nobody need 12 things of napkins or paper towels. It's cause she got 5. Your child is in the classroom with 5 people who ain't gonna bring nothing to school this year. Let's help the teacher out. If you can afford 6 boxes of Kleenex, you can probably afford 12 of them. Let's buy extra shit and send them to school with your kids. Help them out. Because these terrible ass students are taking away the opportunity for your students to actually learn.
That's true.
We got to work on this, man. We got to look, man, reach out to these teachers and ask them, do they need any help with anything? A lot of these teachers, I'm not speaking in Texas. I know a lot of them, they make good money. But a lot of these teachers in different states are not making enough money to actually provide for these students. They can't go out here and buy extra paper. So you know what's going on? These kids don't have no paper. What's more important, for you to go back and argue with a woman over a $3 notebook, or for you to send an extra one up here so that your student, person sitting next to them, has a notebook to write on? Let's do our parts as parents, and then if the shit ain't working after that, now let's tack some shit up. Now let's raise some hell. If your daughter or son come home and they nose all snotty and they ain't wipe their nose all day, you say, what happened? Why you ain't wipe your nose at school? We ain't got no Kleenex. Wait a fucking minute. I sent 26 boxes of Kleenex up there. Now it's time to raise some hell. Go over and beyond to help these teachers out. Black people. I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about black people. I'm singling y'all out. Go to the motherfucking PTA meeting. Go. I'm not telling you that all of them, but at least show your fucking face on it. You would know what's going on at the school and what they having fundraisers for stuff. They're not asking you to go and donate a whole lot of money, but damn, you can throw a nigga a 20 or a 50. Come on, man, help out. Let's get realistic with this shit. Being a teacher is a job. This is how they feed themselves. And they're not always in the mood for this shit. They want to take sick days like you take sick days at your job. They can't. Because if they don't show up and they ain't got a sub, who gonna teach your little badass kids? All I'm saying is, man, let's take the accountability head on, bro, and then let's start improving from the inside out. Check your kids' homework. Man, check your kids' homework. See if they're doing the homework. If you don't know how to do the homework that they doing, man, fake it like I do. Sometimes I don't even know what the fuck them kids be doing in class. I don't know what that is. I play it off. Yeah. It look good to me. I'm taking pictures, sending screenshots. Man, why you do this? I don't remember how to do this shit. I forgot how to do this shit. parentheses, exponents. I'm trying to remember this shit. I don't remember this shit. It's okay. It's okay, but at least show the effort, man. And before I get off this phone, let me reiterate for anybody who just somehow missed it. Children need a healthy fear. Instill the fear. Bust their ass at home.
Yeah.
Let them know that you will get your ass busted if you acting out. Please. You don't have to put on Instagram. You can just tell them. You ain't got to show the world that you whooping ass. Just tell them, like, yeah, I had to go home and bust his little ass and knock his head between the wash and dryer. You know what I'm saying? You can go on Twitter and tweet out, you know what I'm saying, she had came home with attitude. I put a motherfucking ass in the Boston Crab. You ain't got to show the video. Whoop their ass, though, man. Create some discipline for these motherfuckers, man. Put some standards out there. And you know what I'm saying? And from there, if we do our job and the shit ain't improving for us, then we act out. Then we go and storm the castle. But we got to do our job first. Honcho, you got anything for me?
Man, can't disagree with that, man. I did that same shit you was talking about the other day. I forgot what the phrase was. I was like, man, yeah, I had to go work on something else. I'm over there on the Google. What the fuck is this? Some math shit that was there. I ain't never heard the term, the phrase before. I had to look that shit up, but then when she said, when I saw what it was easy. But yeah, man, you got to fake it till you make it, and the kids respect you for it. That'll give a little bit more respect. They'll think you're a little smarter than you really are.
Yeah, listen, it's okay to lie to your kids. It's okay. Act like you know some shit. It's okay. They came in the house asking me about YFM somebody. I was like, yeah, that nigga shit hard. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. They said, Daddy, we want to download YF Cardi or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Cardi, his album came out. Yeah, he hard. He do his thing. As soon as they said that shit, I went down, listen to this shit, make sure they ain't teaching my kids how to go kill everybody. Yeah. But outside of that, man, it's okay. Man, a lot of these little fuckers, man, they lie to you, lie back. That's it for me, Honcho. Hit me tomorrow. We gonna chop it up.
All right, that's a bet, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
All right. Yeah. So that's what's wrong. That's the point right there. I mean, sum it all up. That's what's wrong with these schools. You gotta lie to your kids. Y'all afraid to lie to your kids because your kids out of line. You're afraid your kids gonna whoop your ass. Lie to them motherfuckers. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This is Abraham.
Abraham. What's going on, Abraham?
Okay, I want to talk about my school in Iraq, in the middle of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
The problem there, they didn't have enough goats.
Well, you know,
that
is not the problem because y'all was counting goats. That's how y'all learned how to do math. The problem was y'all didn't have a good enough phone signal. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, man, what's up, Honcho? It's been a minute, dog.
Kenneth, you be on them drugs, man?
Nah, fam, I'm just a little sleepy.
You sound like you over there chugging NyQuil and shit. You over there robo tripping and shit. What's on your mind, man? Let's talk to him. What's on your mind?
Man, I just want to add a little something on the little school topic that we got going on today.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a big part of the issue is that a lot of these niggas, I'm gonna just say a lot of these niggas don't know how to find the proper balance.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna be honest, Kenneth. That sounds racist coming from you because you're not even a real American.
Shut up, my guy. Shut up.
So I just don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
dude, I was basically raised in Houston, my guy. What's your
problem? No, I wouldn't say basically. Yeah, but go ahead, carry on.
But yeah, a lot of the problem is that they don't know how to find the right balance. You know what I mean? And it's like, yes, bro, there's times to have fun and chill, but bro, you got to get on the schoolwork first. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the logic between. I'm gonna use some of my teammates as an example. I don't understand the logic that during the season, I'm gonna make sure I pass all of my classes, but as soon as the season is over or we not going to the playoffs, I'm gonna fall off. I'm gonna fail my classes. Like, what type of sense does that make? You mean to tell me you were all A student, A and B honor, you were honor roll student for the first 6 weeks, but after the season is over, all of a sudden you have B's and C's? Like, I don't understand how that works. You know what I'm saying? And it just bothers me at times when I see that shit because it's like, damn, bro. you could be doing all of this shit, but instead you want to fall off and all this shit. And it's like, and to add more to that, it's like I'm gonna use myself as an example because I struggled with this my sophomore year. I didn't know how to find a balance between messing around with the females and doing my schoolwork. I was too busy. Like at first, I was too busy messing around with the females, being on the gram a little too much, and I got distracted. And my grades kind of sank a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? I kind of had to chill on that shit. So going into my junior year, I just right now I found a better balance to it. You know, I'm like, because during the season, while the season was going on, I gotta chill. You know, I gotta pay attention to the schoolwork. You know what I'm saying? Finish this first, then you can go mess with the hoes later. You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of saw it to me.
Kenny,
and it was like,
so I want to talk about the gram thing you just mentioned for a second. And the thing about the gram, especially with you and the gram, is, Kenneth, you ain't got no hoes, nigga. Stop with the bullshit and get to the story.
I'm lying. No, but for real though, it was like during the season, I had to, you know, put a pause to it because it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice. Thursday I got walkthroughs, and Friday I got a game day. I don't have time to be on the gram. I don't have time to be in there trying to mess around with all these females. You know, I have to focus on the task at hand, which is the game. You know, and so I feel like a lot of the students in my school, they struggle with that. They think that, you know, it's okay to skip practice to go mess with these females on Monday and Tuesday. You know, and all these kind of things. And it's like you gotta have your priorities straight. You know, I feel like students just struggle with that, and not just in my school, but I feel like in most schools. You know, I feel like students just struggle with just keeping everything in front of them, knowing what's important at the time being. You know.
Okay. Yeah, man, leave them dirty little scallywags alone. You know, we know that what you call messing with the hoes is really carrying book bags and bringing apples and buying carnations and all that good shit. I mean, I know how you get down, Kenneth. You ain't gotta press the den, folk. We know who you are. You know, you the original Simp and Ken. You know, some things ain't gonna ever change. So you know, it is what it is.
I don't know why I keep trying to play me. I don't be on that.
It's all good, Kenneth, man. You know it's nothing but love. I mean, but you still simp status until proven otherwise, man.
And I feel like another thing schools should be doing is like, I feel like the curriculum should be a little bit tougher. Mm-hmm. Because you know, if you don't take AP classes in my school and you take regular English or regular U.S. history, the curriculum is just way too easy. Like, you will get bored in those classes. That's how easy some of those classes are, and students aren't being challenged. So it's like, if you're not even being challenged, what are you really learning at that point?
Some of them students is being challenged. Some students just not too bright, you know. And so it is what it is.
But I mean, isn't the point of the school is to, you know, kind of challenge your kids to be better?
You would think so. Some of the schools just trying to get, you know, government funding for the kids, so the more the merrier. And if they pass them along, well, it looks good on paper.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have the issue with that, man, because it's like, what are these kids really learning at the end of the day? Yeah, you don't even give them homework. You don't try to learn in that. You don't try and teach them anything new. So it's like, what's the point of you going to school at that point? You know, are you just going there to just sit down, fill out a little paper, answer a few questions, and go back to your next class or whatever? I don't know. I just can't condone that. I mean, I understand doing the work, but can you give them a little something tougher, something to, you know, critical thinking, something more interesting, you know? That's what I feel like schools should be applying themselves to, or trying to establish more of that.
They barely working with what they got now. If they make it any tougher, then none of them kids gonna make it. And now I do believe it should be tougher. I do believe there should be more challenges. I will agree with you on that. But you know, it's just a situation where it's not what it is, man. I mean, it's also the product they're putting out. These kids are just not up to par, and I think they have a tougher time dealing with the kids overall nowadays than, you know, maybe back then with these short attention spans. I mean, how much information can you cram in the, you know, that little 5 to 10 minute window where they actually paying attention, even if you get that much. So I get it. I understand it. Yes, it should be more challenging, especially in the day and age of Google and all the information being accessible at your fingertips. You would think the kids would actually be smarter, but across the board, y'all dumb as dirt.
And shout out to Roman, bro. I couldn't. I'm rocking with you. You know, you trying to make some change at your school, bro. But it's like HISD, my guy. It's like the HIV is almost a lost cause, my nigga. It's like there's not much you can do at that school.
But my thing is, why don't you run for class president, Kenneth?
Because I'm not that popular.
Why not?
And my class president, you know what I'm saying? There's only this one dude, basketball player. He's just known around the school. So if you're running against him, you're basically wasting your time. Even if you are more qualified, you're not gonna win just because you're not as popular as him. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for all of the other positions. Like I know they have treasurer in my school, historian. You know, it's really just popular kids that are running. So even if you are more qualified than some of the dudes, like the class president is probably gonna win. Most people the thing they don't know about him is that he turns in work late, he fails classes, and it's like, you know, but since he's popular, he's probably going to win the election.
Why are you hating on that man? Why you putting all that man business out in the streets like that?
Because I got a class with, bro.
Okay, but I mean,
I got a class with, bro, steady. Bro, steady asking me his first period with U.S. history, bro, steady asking me for help on some shit that's so simple. I'm like, nigga, get your ass on, man. Nigga, bugging out you, bro.
Look. Kenneth, get off the bullshit. But I agree with most of your call. The other rest of it was some bullshit. But I appreciate you calling. Anything else you want to add to that, man?
Nah, man, that'll be it. I'm finna go snoozing.
All right. Go to bed.
Sir.
Shut up, nigga. Look, Kenneth ain't called in a while. I ain't been able to give Kenneth be problematic for Kenneth in some time. You know, Kenneth used to call in all the time. We used to give Kenneth a lot of shit. Old simping Ken. So, you know, it is what it is at this point. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. We've got a couple of new names in the chat. Welcome if you're new to the den. Pull up a seat, make yourself at home. That's funny. Yolanda, how are you doing? Yes, I would definitely like to speak with you because you would actually. You know what? Damn it! And I remembered it before then, and now it's slipping my mind because I hadn't thought about a bunch of other things. The vouchers. That's what you had mentioned. I believe it was you who had mentioned the voucher. Or I might be wrong. Don't let me you know misquote you. I want to say it was you that mentioned the vouchers and what they were doing with the school system. And so I find that interesting to be interesting thoughts with the charter schools and things like that. But yeah, look, Miss Yolanda should have been here last night, and we could have finished our conversation. There was a lot of interesting conversations taking place last night. A lot going on, so you know that's interesting. My thing is, that's the question. I was asking if anybody in here is from St. Louis. Just curious if anybody is from St. Louis or in the St. Louis area. Kids will be like, I just said that. Because right now, shit. See what I be talking about? Shannon don't listen. This is what I was arguing about yesterday. See, Shannon don't be want to listen. Shannon will, what is this? Is this some big Mexican scent? Shannon will not pay attention to the question, argue you down about it, and then be like, oh, I thought it was something else. I'm going to ask you, you've been to St. Louis. I'm asking who lives in St. Louis. Because, yeah, it's going down. It's St. Louis is a hot box for more than one reason. There's a lot of stuff going on up in St. Louis. St. Louis is not a place you probably want to live. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Renika Wan, that sounds interesting. St. Louis, I think they said, what is it? The highest rates, but number 1 and number 2 for gonorrhea and chlamydia. And then, they up there as far as most murders in the country. So, I want to say at one point they were the murder capital. They may have declined a bit, but they're definitely up there. I think they definitely in the top 5, somewhere in there. So it's a tough deal. Maybe I'll try to get look, hold on first. Let me have a sweet berry real quick with this nonsense, and then. But see, my thing is this though. Like I say, the calls will they will have their own. Because like I said, that's just a day. I think it's good to have them in one day. They are interesting and intriguing. You're gonna have to get Broderick on the next one though. You know, because I thought Broderick would be joining us. Did you get a chance to go back and catch some of the early ones though, Broderick? Because there was a couple of good ones prior to. I thought all of them were good, but they were very interesting. Peninsula. Man, you don't want that smoke, Broderick. That's look. There's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Is someone online now? If you're calling in, let me know because I don't like sometimes it doesn't show up. I don't see anybody calling, and so I need to double check and see what did or didn't. Everything is everywhere. Like St. Louis is terrible. Sounds like a very bad place to go. Sounds like a very terrible place to go. The Marquee. Look, the next debate we're gonna have to get the Marquee and female pimp in an argument. Kodak. I mean, shit, for all the shit Kodak was wilding out and doing, that don't seem like it was really a whole lot. What do you got? 46 months? So it ain't even really a whole 8 years. You got 46 months for what I saw. I mean, you was trying to cross the border with guns and shit and doing some other shit. The thing about Kodak, man, Kodak is a talented young little dude. You gotta stop hanging out with whatever crew he hanging out with, man, and just chill, man. You know. You got so much opportunity to do a whole lot, but you just keep running head first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. So, can't picture Kodak winning. But see, here's the thing, though. But the thing with the debates is this. It's like, yeah, I could moderate them. And I should. Of course I should. There should be a time limit. But sometimes the energy gets going and the back and forth starts going. So it's just sometimes you just like, no, let me just back up. I ain't even finna fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? And because what y'all gotta realize, like sometimes why people ask, why do I ask random questions or why do I do these things? It's simply because sometimes you get the best little gems out of asking certain questions. And so sometimes when a random thought pops into my head, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask this question and then we'll go from there. And so that's why I like to, certain conversations I'll let go on a little because I feel like something is just about to come up and then, you know, we'll see where it goes. But see, that's the thing though. If it's a topic of debate, you're only going to have like one or two people really want to debate it. But if it's people who have an issue with something that somebody else already said, and then they go at it like that, then I think there's more energy and more passion behind it because there's like a personal thing to it. And the other person is going to be, you know, they're going to defend themselves for saying what they said. But like if I just give them something and just like, well, let's talk about these badass kids or Popeye sandwiches or something, then it's like, you know, I don't think it does as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have a no. See, you're right, female pimp. I wouldn't want to put you in a debate. I would like to put you in a spelling bee, and so that's where we'll go with that. So when we have a spelling bee, we will we'll put you in it. Man, the fact that you're talking in third person right now really makes me question stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're on the line, let me know, because if for some reason it's not, nothing is showing up. Let me. I might have to reboot the dilly dally and see what the issue is. I really hate the new fucking. I really hate the new fucking layout for this shit, for this fucking YouTube shit. It is what it is. I need to fucking. I don't know. They say they streamlining the shit, streamlining the shit, and then shit actually takes more effort to fucking use than the old school way. Alright, we got a call coming in. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, man, it's Elise.
So, Elise, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, another voice thread. He actually had someone had I guess the last guy had said about, I know you had said about St. Louis and stuff and how it's being crazy like that, or with the HIV and stuff like that. And well, my high school, we actually had this girl, and it was like a 2A high school, no 3A high school I went to, and he had something that she had contracted, and it was spread out to like 14 different people throughout town. It's a small town too, so it's gonna spread out fast, right? So we actually had like to have the sex department of health or whatever they're called come in, explain to us safe sex and all that. Like, I knew who the girl was too, which was funny because I was actually at a friend's house and he was actually getting tested because he had messed around with her. So I had to go to my cousin and ask him because he also messed around with her. It was just a whole big old thing. I thought it was real funny. It's just how bad it could have spread it out.
Man, the sad thing is when you say that, there is a girl whose face and name comes to mind. And in junior high, there was a situation similar to that. And, I'm not even going to go there. But I remember that. She was a wild one. That was like some 8th grade shit. She was a wild one. Bitch tried to touch me one day. I was, I've heard about you.
And that's the crazy thing too, right? It'd be some of the youngest girls trying to mess around with some old, like, I don't know if you've ever known someone, like, they could be just like an 18-year-old or just getting out of high school, and you find out through Facebook or whatever that they're with some middle school girl or some freshman in high school. So it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, niggas ain't shit. Niggas are disgusting, man. Now, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like cause here's the thing, ladies, y'all be trying to shirk it sometimes. The men in the den have absolutely no problem admitting niggas are disgusting, right? Men are disgusting. They are willing to do some foul shit. But the thing is that we don't condone those behaviors, but we know that they exist. That's the difference. There are men who they prey after young girls. They target young women because they're less knowledgeable about things. Now, it could be other reasons that go along with that. I'm not going to say just because it's less knowledgeable, but that's part of it. They generally tend to use materialistic things to reel them in, or usually those guys could be very immature themselves, and those girls might be right on par with their level of intelligence. So, it's, man, yeah. It's disgusting. I mean, I can't condone the shit, but it definitely does happen a lot more than it should.
Yeah, and it would be real trashy people too, just like how they turn out to be. Just real trashy way of living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
But man, let me tell you what's happening over here, like in Dallas area. So they've been finding a few bodies up in some like Walmarts and convenience store places in the parking lot. They be inside the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with a few that just popped up. Like there was my old place I used to work at. There was a body right in their parking lot. I was just like, oh shit. It's just it's crazy to see how and different. I'm sure everybody could tell their own little things about what's going on in their own little community they live in and stuff, and just see how crazy this world's being.
Yeah.
Because even at UNT, where my girlfriend goes to, they're actually getting a lot of stock. Like people, like they're stalking girls at night.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not really being safe, and it's just like a spark.
Man, I just saw a thing of a chick here in Houston. Said she went and got a lift. And the motherfucker, they tried to, like, she said she felt like they were trying to sex traffic her. Said he pulled up behind his truck because her car broke down on the way to work. Said the lift driver was taking like all these back streets and all this stuff, and it wasn't the way that she was saying it was supposed to go, and he was just telling her to be quiet and not telling her too much. Says he pulls up behind his big truck. Says the black dude gets out the truck and opens up a gate to like this warehouse, was basically telling the lift driver to come in there. She said she hopped out and and got away. She was running. She was streaming the shit on social media or whatever. But she said she felt like she was trying to get kidnapped or sex trafficked or something. So I'm like, damn. That's wild, man. That's wild. That's the crazy shit, though. So, I mean, there's wild stuff happening all over the place. You would think a Lyft driver wouldn't do it because, I mean, he got all your information and shit, but I'm sure that's a ploy for something else.
Yeah, well, I don't know how Houston is, but, like, have y'all jumped in crime, like, from like a year before? Has there been a crime spike for y'all or no?
Man, I haven't paid attention to the numbers. I have to actually double check and see, but I haven't been too attentive to the crime numbers around here.
Yeah, like here, they jumped up, like the Dallas area is like 6% jumped up from last year, so it's pretty significant. I mean, it's just weird to see what's going on now.
Yeah. Well, Dallas is a terrible place. So.
Cold as fuck over here, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, y'all definitely got the cool weather, man. Fuck that shit. That shit is terrible. It's super terrible. I don't even want to step outside to look at shit. I don't want to do nothing. I stepped outside on my pinky. Throw my pinky toe froze off. I have to cancel my running schedule this week. I'm not finna run in the cold. 28 degrees or some shit, man. Fuck that. I'm not finna do it. Maybe next time. I haven't prepped. I haven't trained my tropical bloodline for that type of shit. So, yeah, be out there frozen. Be on the fucking front page of the paper or some shit. Goofy ass nigga froze to death trying to run in 28-degree weather. Anybody got time for that? Pass along to yawn. That's a weird thing. When you yawn and you see somebody yawn and you yawn, it's a sign from the brain. Okay. Anything else that's... Huh? Yeah, I mean, it's just a weird thing. But anything else that's shaking out there in Dallas or going on in your world, that's Elise?
No, man, besides, like, you got, like, military over at the Border Patrol now because, those people that killed or whatever, they're beefing it up. Like, they're actually sending U.S. troops. I don't know if it's Coast Guard or if it's U.S. Army, so, stuff is going down over there. Or, like, you probably, like, expect, like, the shit to be, some bodies piling up on the news or whatever. Whatever y'all see, about cartel members.
Oh, yeah. I definitely will. I know Trump had said something about sending the army over there to deal with it. But Mexico was like, nah, we don't want nothing. We ain't finna get into all that, player. If you ever want to piss off a Coast Guard member, call him a puddle pirate. Shit will make them highly upset. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be a lot of interesting things that happen before the year is over with.
Oh yeah, most definitely, brother.
Okay.
Weird stuff is about to pop off. I feel like, man.
Yeah, it's 2020, man.
Yeah,
it's about that time. All right, well, that's a bit. If you got nothing else, at least, man, I appreciate your call, there, man.
All right, man, no problem, man.
All right. I know Miss Yolanda says she's on the line. You might, I don't know if you're still holding Miss Yolanda. You might have to hang it up and call back because it's not showing up. Usually it brings up the next call, but I'm not seeing it. Look, what good has ever came out of Kansas City? Who Tech 9? That's like the best thing that y'all had come out of Kansas. Ain't nobody give a shit about no goddamn Kansas City. Your fucking quarterback put ketchup on everything. That shit is terrible. Like, nobody don't want to hear all that shit. Your BBQ is trash, Shannon. Trash, Shannon. It is trash. Right? Harry Truman. Harry Truman in the library. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's Lockbird.
Lockbird, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind there, man?
Hey, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. This is a little outdated,
Right.
but you use the N word a time or two, and this happened in the WNBA, which I know you're not a fan of, but a lot of people in the chat are.
Okay.
In the playoffs, the semifinals, LA Sparks got blown out in the second game of a best of 5. And the general manager came in the locker room. I don't know if you heard of this. And she blasted the team, right, like they do. And she used the N-word. And in her defense, she says she was using it against the other team, you know, like those N-word, not you N-word. Anyway, they fired her. Like, took like a day, and she was gone. And I was wondering what you thought about that, and if you thought that would have happened in the NBA if some guy said that.
You said it was the general manager?
Yeah, she's a former player. She only played a couple years, but she's black.
Okay. Oh, so
and the head coach is Derek Fisher, the former NBA guy.
Oh, that's where Derek Fisher is, out there banging WNBA players now. Huh? Couldn't stay away from his team or his team's wives. Okay, so yeah, odd. I think it's weird because I was going to ask if she was black or if she was white or what it was. So that's very interesting.
Well, I mean, if she was white, I mean, that changes everything, I think. But
I think it would be hilarious if she was white. But would it be? I mean, I don't know. I guess that. Come on, man. Let's be honest. WNBA players are rough around the edges. Okay, that's not the first time they heard it, and that's not the first time she said it. They probably use that as an excuse to can her ass. Cause did they lose? They lost the who won the championship? I have no idea.
Washington. They were playing Connecticut, who came in second. Okay. So they would have gone to the finals if they'd won the series.
Yeah. So I mean, it's yeah, you know, and then that's what I say. It's just I think it's terrible that she lost her job or something like that. But come on, we know what it is, and I mean I don't know. I just think it's bad. I mean that's the problem. You can't say anything these days. And it used to be that. I mean, was it on camera? Like, but did somebody capture it publicly, or did somebody just report that she said it?
It just leaked out. There was no video.
That's the fucking worst, man. That's the fucking worst. Just shit. That's the problem with things nowadays. You can't keep shit in the fucking locker room. Can't even keep the locker room talking the locker room. So yeah, I think that's some bullshit. I think it might have been an excuse to can her ass or for whatever. They might have been looking for a reason. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. They kind of well, I mean, Derek Fisher in that game, if it's the right, no, it might have been the next game. They have a star player, Candace Parker.
Yes.
She's like doing NBA stuff now, like as a studio commentator, or whatever.
Yeah, Candace Parker, she's legit.
I think she was with Barkley and them guys one time. Anyway, she got benched early. She played like 11 minutes in one of the playoff games. So Magic Johnson is part owner of that team. He was probably looking to get somebody.
Yeah, Candace Parker, she's legit. And I want to say it was Candace Parker that came out and said that, you know, because a lot of the WNBA, you know, they're lesbian, that they gave her a hard time because she's not with it, you know, because she's straight or whatever. And they were saying that there's like a lot of backlash for that. Something like that.
Oh yeah, that was Candace Wiggins.
Oh, that was Wiggins who said that? Okay.
Yeah, she had it. She said that like when she was writing a book, I think, after she had. I think she went a little high in her numbers. She said like 98% were gay.
Yeah.
It's over 50%, but I don't think it hits 98. And people had a fit about that because it was, you know, too high.
It might be some experimenting going on that, you know, some of them may have some husbands they just don't want to say nothing about it. Those trips they get lonely. I don't know. Does WNBA, do they have groupies? You know, NBA players get groupies everywhere. I don't think the WNBA works the same, so they just, you know, they stick with their team.
If they have groupies, it's probably women. I don't think there's any men groupies.
No, I don't think so either. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Hey, Prepaid's got to watch the LFL, Legends Football League. He's looking for thick women. There's some out there on the line.
I love the NFL. It's high quality football.
Yeah, you know what's really cool too is they got that camera right there on the field. I mean, it's like you're standing on the field watching the game between plays. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know.
I really like that.
But NFL it really is actually, it's pretty decent football. So I'm not hating it. But the uniforms are cool too. But you know,
I hadn't noticed. I'm just watching the game.
Oh, okay. Pure athleticism. But so what do you think about the school? What's going on in the schools there, Lockwood? I mean, you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, well, it just blows my mind. I went to school a long time ago, and it was an all-white school in a sparsely populated area. So, like, when I hear that there's cops in schools, it just freaks me out because, you know, we had no need for that. And metal detectors and stuff. I think you just have to set a standard and enforce it. And if kids don't pass, you need to make them, you know, do it again. I think there's we got into this situation where, you know, different racial groups maybe were not passing to a higher extent or something, or I don't know, for some reason they decided to lower the standards. I mean, when I was in high school, even way back, they used to segregate the kids by the best kids and the next best and the next kid, and then at some point they said, no, we're going to mix you all up, you know.
Yeah.
And it had the exact opposite of what they wanted. They wanted the smart kids to bring the dumb kids up.
Yeah.
And instead the teacher had to teach at the lowest level, not the highest level.
Which is crazy. I don't know what they would think.
And so I just hear about kids like at a certain grade level and they can't read or something, or they can't do whatever. And you think, well, how'd they get to that grade level? I mean, they're just pulling them through. You know, if they just said, you don't do the work and you don't pass, and maybe there'd be more effort by the parents and the kids to get the work done.
Yeah, I think so too. But then I think you put that sense of urgency in them. Except they know if they're just going to pass for no matter what they do, and you know who really gives a shit. They don't really care how high they're ranked in their class or anything like that. But if they know that they got to spend that time over again, they don't get to hang out with that same class, or they look like, hey, you know, they get embarrassed because they fall behind a grade or something like that. I think that might motivate them a little bit more to stay focused or do what they need to do.
But I don't know about the discipline thing. You know, out in California, they had a rule change. You can no longer suspend a student.
What? Why not? What is that? I mean, like...
They said that because there was it wasn't huge, but there were more black kids. Mm. There was a difference in the races, right? Like when they looked at it, they wanted to see if 10% of the kids are black, they wanted to see only 10%. And they saw higher from some certain groups. So they said, it's prejudice, you know, they assumed it's prejudice.
Yeah.
So they had to get rid of it.
That's crazy shit.
So now you could tell a teacher to go F themselves, and she can't get you suspended. I don't know what the punishment they do. Maybe you got to stay after school or something.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder if they still have like the in-school suspension. I used to be frequenting the in-school suspension, but it would be cool because when I get out, like, because I do I used to like in-school suspension because you actually get all your work done because there's, you know, you couldn't talk, nobody's distracting, you know, and I'd actually do the work because they send you all the work, you know, for however long you're supposed to be there. So I'd have all the assignments. And I get the shit done with that shit in a day or two, and I have nothing to do. And so the ISS teacher would send me to run errands and shit. and throughout the regular, the rest of the school. So I'd be going by my classrooms and shit, popping my head in there, talking shit. So it was cool. But yeah, that's bullshit, man. Again, like I say, there are other factors that why black kids may be getting suspended more, but it's not because they're black. I refuse to believe just because they're black they're getting suspended more.
Yeah. So you were like a library kid? You hung out in the library, is that right?
No. I mean,
or you read a lot of books or something?
When I was young, I read a lot of books. When I got into, like I say, later in the middle school, probably around 7th, 8th grade, I really started losing it. Things started happening in life. Really, I would say about the time when my sister passed, I really kind of got out of a lot of stuff. I started looking at life a little weird, a little bit differently. So I wasn't as focused on the academics. And then I kind of lost that habit for quite some time until maybe a few years back when I started kind of getting back into that groove. But yeah, I used to read a lot more when I was younger. But I wouldn't say a library kid. Maybe the public library. I slide down to the public library a lot. But
so
odd shit.
So you like been arrested or something, and that keeps you from a lot of jobs. Is that right?
Yeah, it has prevented access to some opportunities, and it got to a point where I was just like, man, this is pretty much bullshit. So I started trying to do some things on my own, and discovered a couple little things about myself, I guess you would say, that were profitable. And so I just say, instead of getting rejected, going to these places, because there would be times that I went to like job sites I'd get hired on. Then you get to the job site and you reject you at the gate, especially with a lot of these construction gigs and stuff. The background came back and, well, because of this site, this plant has a certain set of rules, or this facility has a certain set of rules, and because of what happened with you, you're not allowed to work here, or you can't do this. But even though, you said I was hired, even though you said I was good, or somebody may have failed to thoroughly follow up, it got to a point where it got real frustrating, man. And so I just figured I'd have to figure out a new way to do some things differently.
Does that time out? How your credit only lasts 7 years? Do they say, well, it's long enough back, we don't care ever?
Yeah, it has to get to that point. But like I say, it was still relatively. I wouldn't say it was relatively recent, but like I guess once you kind of get into the habit of kind of saying, well, fuck it, you kind of don't want to go back to that. But even there were some places they were saying, because of the way it was set up, they would tell me, come back in 11 years, come back here, there. I mean, minimum wage jobs, bullshit ass jobs. And so, like I said, it just got to a point where it's like, there has to be other ways to make money without, it's kind of like a level of embarrassment when you go somewhere and hey, I'm more than capable of doing the job. I know I'm more than intelligent enough to do the job, but we just can't hire you because of, your background. And again, that's my fault. I don't blame anybody for that. That's nobody's fault but my own. You know what I'm saying? But it just got frustrated to the point, because like I said, there was a one time I had to travel from here to Borger, which was fucking 10 hours away. Spent a lot of money on getting all my shit together and everything, and you get out there and it's like, I'm taking my little on-site class, or I'm supposed to be taking my on-sites, and they won't let me in because they're like, oh, well, because of this and this, we can't do it. I'm like, man, I just spent a nice little chunk of change and a whole lot of time in a fucking car to get out here. And, it was just kind of frustrating. So there was a lot of experiences that were negative. And so I started trying to get a little bit more entrepreneurial in my own efforts.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's all I got.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lockwood, I appreciate you calling in and, sharing your thoughts with us.
All right. Take care.
You too. Yeah, man. Let me tell y'all youngsters, if you're young, don't get caught up in no shit. Don't get caught up in no stupid shit. It's not worth it. Telling you, man, it's more. Because here's the thing, and I used to always question, why do niggas always go back to jail? Why do niggas always going back and doing dumb shit? Why are they always doing this stupid shit? And I realized why. Because once you kind of get a little stain on your record, then, it gets frustrating, especially if you're trying to provide, if you're trying to sustain, maintain, whatever. And like I said, I had, rinky-dink jobs. I'd have a couple of good jobs. I had a homegirl, the couple little quick little turnarounds that I worked that were decent. It's because I had a homegirl who was in the hiring department, and she slid me through with no background check, and so those were cool. But those are temporary jobs. Only last a few weeks here, a few weeks there, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah, and in Texas, because I want to fucking look. Here's the deal, man. If I want to work, I want to make some money. I'm not tripping on working. I've never been an issue to work. That's not a thing. Like, I have no problem busting my ass, but you just I need to have the opportunity, and so like I said, it was times I'd go take my ass. I took my ass to the little funky ass dollar store. I worked at McDonald's. Like, it's not a pride thing. It's none of that shit. Oh, this call should be very interesting. But it just got to a point where certain things were happening. It was just like, man, fuck this. It's almost not worth it. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hello, Honcho. How are you?
Hello, Shannon.
Okay. I was just calling in because I wanted to comment on what Pinkerton said about the PTA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with
I don't know why, Shannon. You sound like I don't know if you're hearing it on, man, but you sound like a little muffled.
No, I am. Hold on.
You were talking through the pillow and shit. Shannon over there, pillow talking, sweet talking, making sweet love to the goose down.
Hello, is that better?
Slightly.
No, I can't do anything about it. I'm at my mom's house, and I'm trying to get away from the noise because your favorite day my brother's birthday. He turned 21. He's little brother.
21.
Yeah.
So, what are y'all doing in celebration of the brother's birthday?
I just bought him a bunch of electronics. He likes electronics. And he wanted cake. And she bought him a football, and she bought him 2 tickets.
So you were saying something about the PTA?
I don't always agree with the PTA because the reason why is because I've had a good teacher when I went to a school get fired because they had us reading Mark Twain's books in my English class. Because the parents on the PTA felt that the books were too graphic and everything, so they always had a constant problem. So it interfered a lot with the school curriculum and what we could read, what we couldn't read. And I had a teacher get fired.
You had a teacher get fired because you were reading Mark Twain.
Yeah, because the parents were upset about the books because they felt the books were too graphic.
What kind of parents were these? Were they black parents, white parents, Hispanic parents?
They were a mix of parents. Most of them were white parents because the school is predominantly white.
I think you're blaming white people for your problems again, Shannon.
I'm not blaming white people for the parents. I do not. No, I do not. I do not blame white people. I'm just saying that because I went to so many different schools, I've had so many different experiences. And the teacher that got fired was white. So they fired her. They fired her because they didn't like the fact that the classic literature books we were reading, like Mark Twain, was too graphic. And the parents were upset about it. So when they had their PTA meeting, they fired her over those books because the school took those books out of the curriculum after that.
Yeah, that's sad.
And then the school had those books removed out of the library.
I think you're the one that started this whole situation. I think that you.
I do not start anything. Stop trying to blame me for anything.
Look, you started the situation with Miss Bell yesterday, and now you're starting the whole PTA situation, and then you try to blame it on Ashley.
That was Ashley.
That was you, Shannon. We all heard you, Shannon. So why are you trying to blame Ashley for what you did, Shannon?
Because you and Ashley do not sound alike.
If prepaid and Trill sound alike, then you and Ashley definitely sound alike.
No, we don't. And prepaid and Trill sound alike because they both loud and Trill's a little rude.
I'm gonna need you to come out of the cavern. Wherever you sound so muffled right now. It is really hard to hear what you're saying.
Hello?
Yes.
Is that better?
No, absolutely not. I think it's actually a little bit worse.
Oh, well.
Do we need to send help?
Goodbye.
Hmm?
That's all I had to say. Goodbye.
All right, well, thank you, Miss Shannon. I'm not sure what was going on. It was very tough to hear what was going on there. I'm not sure what happened, but we're gonna probably get ready to wind down these next couple of minutes here. But I need to take a. I'll be trying not to fucking take mess. I'm having like a fucking little headache. I'll be trying my best to avoid taking anything. Be trying to conquer them motherfuckers naturally, but shit. Fuck that. Let me take me an ibuprofen or something. Yeah. So my thing is this, right? That was clearly Shannon on the phone with Miss Bell, and Shannon just doesn't want to own up to it because, you know, she's a racist. Marie, and we love you too. Marie, lovely. But man, here's the deal, man. You said the minutes go by fast. Man, here's my thing though. What was I talking about? Oh, the thing in toxic femininity, man. I started saying, yeah, man, that's the fucked up part about it. Like, you sliding motherfuckers with double check your, like, that'd be the whole thing about it, because you think you got in on the gig, and then motherfuckers will come and double check your ass. Oh, well, it must have been a mistake. You shouldn't be here. Fucking, what? I can't be at this damn dollar store where the fucking, this bitch getting robbed every other week? Like, don't nobody want to work here. Y'all go fire. I'm telling you, man, it gets frustrating. And it gets to a point where you want to build your own thing. You want to do your own thing. And sometimes that's not as easy. Sometimes it's not consistent. But it is what it is. Okay, that's bad. You said that? Okay, I'll definitely check it out. I'll check it out here after the streams. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get ready to wind it down. I've been having a little bit of a headache. I don't know what's going on. But so I'm going to take my little ibuprofen and I'm going to call it a wrap for this evening. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure. With that being said, we're going to get ready to wind it down. Now, again, like I said, y'all have a good evening. All of you lovely people. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. And with that being said, y'all ain't got to go home. But you guys get the fuck up out of here. I'm gone.